guys, what are we gonna do today? Today we're gonna make this cute little boot. All I used was one of the wooden shoe stays, a piece of fabric, and the little ball ornament stamp from the Holly Jolly stamp set from IOD. Let's get started. Here's my bag. Here's the shoe stay I'm gonna be using. So I'm using these smaller canvas bags, and you kind of just need to look to see what size your shoe stay is. And all I'm gonna do is cut this up the center. Now I have enough for 2 shoes. First thing I'm gonna do after I've cut it apart is cut this bottom fold. And I'm gonna lay it flat, and I am going to paint this and this with my off-white paint. So you can just use any color you want, any type of paint you want, but I'm just going to paint these both up so that they match. So I did find that when you're painting fabric, if you kind of get your fabric a little bit wet, not completely drenched, but a little bit wet, your paint seems to soak in a little better. So while it's still wet, I'm just gonna mix just a little bit of gray over it. Okay, let's let these dry. After this is dry, what I'm gonna do is fold the hem up once. You can stamp it after, but I really found that it's easier if I stamp it before I put it together. And I want to iron it down. And I'm putting a piece of parchment paper on the top. So now I'm going to stamp it. I said you could sew it together first and then stamp it, but I really found it's easier if I do this. This is going to be my center seam of the front of the boot. So this is where I'm going to stamp my little bulbs. And then after I get it onto the wood boot, then I'll stamp the wood part. And you could just change it up and do whatever images or stamping you would like. I'm gonna do this one in black and white. And I'm gonna do this grain stamp at the top. Okay, so then I'm using this ornament bulb from my Holly Jolly stamp, but any type of circle that you have. I'm gonna put one all the way down, and then on the other side. Okay, so I'm gonna let this thing dry, and then we are going to go sew this. So I just put the 2 right sides, the outsides together, and line this up. And I'm just going to do a running stitch on my sewing machine. Okay, let's turn it inside out and put it on our boot. So I am going to lightly sand this boot. What we're going to do right now is I am just going to glue it down. So I'm just using a glue, and use whatever type of glue you want. And first thing I'm going to do is this little hem that I had folded up. I am just going to put glue in here and glue that together. Okay, and then I'm just going to put some glue over this whole edge. Got it centered there. Okay, and let's let this glue dry on here. So now I'm just going to do a few of these on the actual wood boot. And for the fun of it, I'm going to try to put a little grain stripe at the bottom. So I decided I would add just a little more interest to this. And so I just took a piece of my decoupage paper and I cut this out, and I am just going to glue this onto my stocking. Okay, so let's get to our waxing. So I am just waxing this, and believe it or not, this is just a clear wax. So I'm gonna put a tube in here right now, and it's gonna help hold it open, and it'll dry kind of standing like that. My IOD tubes fit perfect in this. And I'll just stand this up against my chair, and I'm just gonna let him harden. Well, I hope you learned some fun tips with this, and you could come up with any theme or idea with the same concept, but see what you can come up with and have fun.